Hello, hello, and welcome back to our promo day 12, where we are talking about this amazing event, which is interview series for predictable income system for online coaches and healers. So if you are watching this episode, that's the sign for you. And again, this is a beautiful event because you do not have to be anywhere in specific time in a specific place. All you have to do is just click the button to register, and then starting June 8th, you start receiving the emails in your inbox, which is two emails per day with two beautiful interviews from the speakers with their free gifts. And you have less than 1 hour a day to consume it. So you can open it in the morning, listen as you are traveling in the car, and then catch another interview. But the most important thing is just, it's at your convenience. And remember that there are so many great gems, insights, tools, the opportunities for you to really connect. How can we make that income more predictable, and how can we make more that client flow? And today I am super excited to have Mimi Thrasher with me. Mimi, hello and welcome.
Thank you. It's so great to be here and see you again.
Yeah, same here. I love to play together. So, Mimi, tell a little bit about yourself. What are you helping people with, and what exactly you are doing?
Okay. So I help people with admin work because we all have so many things we want to do, and doing all the support work is not what we want to do. But I happen to have been given the gift of being good at it and loving it. So that's really what I help people do. And I do that, Irina, so that people have inner peace. Because when people have inner peace, the world will have outer peace.
So true, so true. And it's so important to have somebody in our corner because, again, a lot of times as business owners, we are trying to do everything alone. And that's exactly where we are heading with our conversation because sometimes the biggest income leak isn't the pricing or the marketing or the sales strategy, but how we are actually spending our time, because again everybody has the same time, 24 hours a day, right? But some people create opportunities, conversations, clients, revenue during that time, while others stay busy all day long and wonder why their income feels unpredictable. So let's talk a little bit about the difference. That's exactly, we are going to talk about why something is actually costing us money and how to see exactly where we want to put our time, right? So just think about it. A lot of times people might wake up in the morning, and I always love to do some kind of mini energy practice, right? Because we want to set ourselves for the day. If we start running around just with our to-do list, we forget that before we are doing something, we want to be that person, right? To have the better attitude, to have stronger mindset, so we can tackle anything what comes our way, right? And then again, my first question would be, what income generating activity can I focus on today? And it doesn't mean that every day is going to bring that income, but just because we are focusing on that, just because we do in the steps, we are moving the needle forward, right? So
Yeah,
that the
and
way,
it also
yeah,
does. You might not receive income today. You might receive it another day. So it's taking
totally.
the steps today
Mhm.
that will bring you income, whether it's today or in the future. The idea is that it brings you income in the future.
I love that. I love that, right? And we are training also our mind to look at our, bank account, no matter what it is, right? So a lot of times people escape and to look at it because they're like, okay, I haven't generated anything today. It doesn't matter, because the way our mind works, the more we look at our bank account and ask ourselves, what step can I take today in order to generate more income? So our mind now connects and start thinking about the ways that we can do it, right? So we are going to talk a little bit about it, right? Because again, 24 hours a day, but you can set up an hour focus time, meaning that you are not answering any phone calls, meaning that you are not looking at any emails. Just the focus time. Okay, what is my priority and what is something that's going to drive me to that income? So that might look like, okay, I might have the people that I want to follow up with, right? Because again, we have so many conversations, right? Mimi, we meet people, we go to networking, we are mastermind, and we do all different things. We are meeting people in person, right? And what happens next? We are just exchanging the cards or information, but we never follow up, right? Maybe we have the initial meeting with them,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
yeah.
unfortunately
You
not.
have to follow up. If there's no follow up, then it was just a good idea to show up at an event, right? To make
Absolutely.
that event work for you, that it's one of the most important things. You're going to see and be seen, but you have to connect afterwards. Now, I always have an occasion in my calendar the day after an event, especially
Hmm.
if it's an evening event, for about an hour to follow up on all those business cards, right?
Hmm.
Whether I'm putting them into my email list because they gave me permission to do that, or I'm sending them an email with the thing I promised them, or I'm saying, hey, let's do a one on one. You have to make the time to do it so that it doesn't occur like something you have to squeeze into your day.
Absolutely. So, so true. And again, also follow up maybe with your past clients, right? To see where they are, because this is the market that, like if they already worked with you, if they loved you, who says that they are not ready for another step? But again, it takes from us to invite them to work with us, right,
Yes.
Mimi?
And they may not only want to work with you, but you could also say, hey, who do you know that would be a good fit, for us to work together? So it's
Hmm.
a third party referral is so strong. When somebody says, hey, this person is fantastic and you should give her a try or at least have a conversation, the chances of that happening are so much higher than somebody who just found you on social media.
So true, so true. And I love that you mentioned, the power of ask. Like all the time,
Yeah,
keep it in mind. But whoever we talk to, okay, maybe they are not requiring our services, but who do you know? Who do you think about that? You can introduce me to, so they might be willing and interested in working with me, right?
yeah,
Again, it's just taking these steps forward.
yeah. So when I call clients and I have this conversation, I say, who do you know lately that's been late? Or who do you know that's been double booking? Or who do you know that feels overwhelmed and keeps telling you they wish they had another 6 hours in their day? I said, I want you to
Hmm.
introduce me to them. So
So true.
that gives the person you're talking to a place to think about, oh, who can I match with so and so? Right.
So
So,
true.
yeah,
Hmm. I
yeah,
love that. I love that what you shared. And I also wanted to point out that our time management is actually our priority management, right? So it's not about we don't have enough time, but it's about deciding what deserves our attention first. And successful business owners prioritize visibility, relationships, conversations, offers, follow up before they actually go into other to-do lists, right? So it's all about just really knowing, okay, let me do a couple of activities. And sometimes maybe it's not comfortable. And I feel like a lot of times people are hiding behind because they're like, oh, okay, let me tweak my website. Let me work in my programs. Hey, Teresa, it's great to have you with us. Just like doing other distractions, just notice, right? I think it's the most important thing is the awareness, because if we notice something, then it's easy for us to fix, right? So always start with that question: what is income generating activity I can do, right? And like Mimi said, it doesn't mean that it's going to bring you income right away, but because if every day you are taking the steps, right, they are going to create the momentum, and these steps are really going to pay off. And I love, like, in this world that, like business ownership, It's just, like really understanding how our energy works and direct our focus on the right tasks, because we do not have to know how, but we want to know what we're doing and why we are doing. And the more we connect with that what and why, the how is going to be all showing up, right? Sometimes we are talking to one person, we are pouring our value to one person, and the client comes from completely different side, right?
Yeah.
And the more we are okay with that, the more we receive that and stay open, because a lot of times when we are attached to the outcome, it's not necessarily that it's going to show up the way that we planned for it,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
So
Um, Go ahead.
yeah, tell you wanted to say something.
It went out of my head.
All right, so let's read what Teresa says. Teresa says, for me, making videos and artworks for my channel on YouTube definitely costs money for me, but good news. I got an interview coming next week for administrative job. Beautiful, beautiful.
Ooh.
And like we said, remember, if one door closes, this is the life, energy. If something is not offered to us, that means there is a better opportunity for us. If we are constantly connecting with that, knowing that everything is happening for our highest good, that highest good is always showing up. So congrats, Teresa. We are holding the energy that if that is a great match, that's exactly what's going to happen for you. Love it, love it, love it. So let's talk a little bit about other things, right? I know, Mimi, we were talking about calendar, how important it is for us to have the calendar, right?
Yeah.
And
The
yeah,
calendar
talk a
is the
little.
calendar is really important because it actually tells you what you're doing with your day. So you
Mhm,
might have, 36 hours worth of things that you want to do in a day, but you only have 24 hours. And the calendar, whether it's digital or it's in person, right? Like a,
mhm,
a paper copy, right, will allow you to really get a handle on what you're doing with your time. And then if you
mhm,
have more to do than you do time, you can delegate or you can put it off to another day. And I don't mean fluff it off. I mean plan it for another day. And anybody that's impacted, you just let them know, sorry, I won't be able to do this today. I'm going to do this on, next Tuesday or whatever the day might be. So it's really important. Now, using a calendar, and I said this the last time we were together, you don't have to put in every 5-minute thing. You can
mhm,
put from 9 to 12, working on lead generation, from 1 to 4, whatever, work on my clients, do client work. And then that allows you the freedom to know what you're doing, especially if you're an entrepreneur that works time for money. You have to track how much time you're working on a client. You don't want to work too much and you don't want to work too little. There's a balance there. So the calendar
mhm.
is really, really important for that. And I happen to love Google Calendar because Google, and I don't believe necessarily in reinventing the wheel, but Google Calendar has a lot of things in it. Like you can have more than one calendar, a personal calendar and a business calendar, and they can be seen at the same time. So
Mhm.
you're not double booking yourself for anything, right?
So true.
If you have a VA, they don't necessarily have to see your personal calendar. You might just want to share with them your business calendar, but you yourself will see both. Your VA will see your business calendar.
Mhm.
That's one of the reasons why I love Google. Google has colors. I
Yes, I love it too.
I
Mhm,
know I'm a time for money kind of person. So each client is a different color. So, I
mhm,
could look at my week and I could say, okay, did I do enough hours with this person? Do I
mhm,
owe them hours next week? Because I work on a monthly basis and I go, oh, did I do enough? Who did I leave
mhm,
out? Did I do too much? Did I
mhm.
whatever that is? But it helps me to keep track of everything, making a each client a different color.
I love that. And Teresa says for the calendar details, I have tasks set up for me tracked on my iPhone with reminders as that's been most effective, but not only me, but my love too works well. Yeah, definitely. And she says she gives us both like on this. It's beautiful. Thanks so much. We
Thank
always
you.
like you comment and just, like chatting because you know what people do not realize when they interact with us, it's also moving the energy. That's
Yeah,
why like we always invite for people to participate because it's not just being the passive listener, but when we are doing something, right, when we are commenting, when we are engaging, that means that our energy is moving forward to
right.
whatever we are desiring, right? So
Yeah,
that's a beautiful piece. And I just wanted to add to what you were saying, Mimi, about delegation. It's also the time strategy. Because a lot of times business owners spend hours doing tasks that don't require their expertise. So they would rather focus on something of their zone of genius, doing coaching, teaching, speaking, leading, creating more relationships, because that value is more on the side of generating income, right?
it
So
is.
the
But there's two times when it's really challenging for an entrepreneur. The first one is the new entrepreneur because they're wearing all the hats in the business, right?
Mhm,
They're small enough that they could juggle all the balls and so on and so forth. But then it comes the second time, and that's when they need to start offloading or delegating things to other people. And let me tell you, the hardest thing for somebody to delegate is the stuff that they're good at. So, for example,
mhm,
a marketing person will have a very no problem doing the marketing for their clients, but doing marketing for themselves becomes challenging, right? For
mhm,
me, right, I'm great at admin. I don't want anybody to do my admin. It's challenging for me to give my admin over to
mhm.
somebody, and I recently found somebody to help me. So I now have somebody to support me with doing my best. So those are the two times when you can make that leap to really delegating so that you become a manager in your business. Business growth goes up. Your income will go up because you're freed up to do those things that you're good at and that you love.
I love that. I love that. So, Mimi, let's talk a little bit about what is your talk title for the interview series and what is your free gift?
So, my talk title is Success Without Stress: Time Management to Gain Freedom from Overwhelm. And my free gift is all about the top 10 guidelines that you can implement so that you have a handle on your time. How to work with your time instead of being like this with it, such that you feel like you have an extra 6 hours in your day.
Mm-hmm. So,
So
so true.
yeah, so the free gift is all about that. Obviously, if you have challenges with implementing some of the steps, which some people may or may not, reach out to me. I am always happy to answer questions with people and support them along the way and give them a little guiding nudge in the right direction.
Yeah, the your link is right there. So if anybody feels to have the conversation, of course, they can reach out. And Teresa said that she does all the marketing and advertising yourself. So true, but like as you grow, you'll see that you cannot just handle everything, right? And that's the beauty of it when we learn how to delegate all these things. And I just wanted to say that it's a powerful conversation, Teresa, as always. Like you are going to propel for sure because you're constantly participating, you're constantly doing, and the universe sees the effort and the universe rewards the stubborn ones, the ones who are not quitting, because the quitters are not winners and winners are not quitters. This
That's
is one of the best messages. So I just wanted to close out today the conversation. Mimi, thank you so much. It was super cool. It was amazing conversation today. So just for all of us to remember that time is one of the few resources we all receive equally. But the difference is how we truly, how much time we are spending on what, right? Because the difference is what do we actually do with that, and how do we use our hours to build the momentum, or is it actually costing us money? And the predictable income is often the results of making those hours count. Mimi,
Yep.
would you like to add something?
You said it all. You know, if you don't
Yeah.
have enough time to do everything, again, delegate. Delegate
Yep.
so that you can get everything done, not just your priorities, the things that are not priorities. Everything deserves to get done.
Absolutely. And like I said, if people can't, like hire somebody even for a couple of hours a month, and you notice a
Yeah,
big difference, because these would be the hours that you can spend on staying in your zone of genius, right? Like coaching, talking to people, actually doing these closings for the sales. And for that, this is your income
yeah,
priority focus.
exactly.
All right. Thank you so, so much. And for everybody who is watching, and if you haven't registered yet, this is your invitation to register. We have amazing kickoff party tomorrow, which is live on Zoom. And if you want to be part of it, you got to register. So, all the best. And yes, Teresa, definitely delegate, hiring manager, maybe even speak to Mimi and see, if that would be a great fit. All right. So, everybody, great, great talk. And something, remember, every conversation we have, it's not just for the sake of talking. It's actually what is one takeaway I want to have, and what is something, what one step I can do to start actually moving the needle in the right direction. And that's exactly how we create more of predictable income and more of our clients that are flowing to us with ease and grace. All right. Thank you so, so much. Mimi, thank you so much for this conversation. And we'll see you next week. Bye.